بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. The previous lesson, what we covered was about how dunya is the source of all evil, and then some people might think, how do we live in this world when everything about it is negative, and how can we reconcile between this and the fact that the dunya is the where we sow the seeds for the hereafter. And that's what we're going to cover today, inshallah. He'll clarify for us how to reconcile between how dunya is where you sow the seeds for the hereafter, and the hadith where it says that the dunya is cursed. So what is the good of this dunya, and from the wisdom of Allah Azza wa Jal, is that He has made it the abode for traversing, for just passing by. And as Habib mentioned earlier, how Allah Azza wa Jal took out our father Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam, took him out from Jannah to the earth for a wisdom. And this wisdom, Allah Azza wa Jal says about it, that you will have in this world an abode and provisions for a portion time, because you've come to this world because of it's a temporary abode, and you will return to your origins, your real place, country. Like how you are living in your house with your family, and it turns out that you have to go to work. You have to go and travel for a conference you have to attend for work. It will be foolish for you to think that now is the time for you to leave and depart your family. No, you will go for a few days and then come back to your place. And this is how the dunya is, that you should deal with the dunya, that it is not a place of permanence. What you see in this dunya, it is just adornment and trials and tribulations. And this is the Quran has warned us, and the Prophet ﷺ has warned us about this. So if you take the warnings of Quran and the prophetic warnings, then you would be successful, you'll be saved, you would not be destroyed, and your dunya will be the Mazra'ah, the where you plant the seeds for the hereafter. Imam Ghazali says that this dunya is uh, like the like the like the provisions for the traveler, or like the vehicle for the traveler. So if you have a uh, a ride, then that ride is carrying you. But that ride, whether it's like a camel or a horse, it is made of flesh, bones, and meat, and it needs rest, it needs food, and but if you neglect it, it won't give you anything. It would stop one day, and it might even die if you don't give it its due right because of you. So dunya is like that ride. You need to look after. You have to look after that vehicle of yours, that ride of yours, not because you love that ride, but because it is a means for which you will reach your end destination. Like that in your car, you have to do your service, your oil change. You need to replace your tires, so that it helps you reach your end destination. The car in itself is not the goal. So if you see the dunya as like a bridge to uh, for you to reach the hereafter, then you will work in it properly. Take from this dunya what is necessary or what you are in need of, from all things. Previously, or in early times, the life, first of all, there was barakah, and it was simple. People would eat, they would work so that they could buy them food for that day. They wouldn't have other things. They wouldn't be faced with the things that we are now in need of. They weren't in need of electricity, for instance, so they didn't have bills. They didn't have financial restraints. So, so if the sun sets, then you should sleep, and that means you gotta get up to pray in the night. So our lives have changed. Uh, our occupations have changed. The, so like if I have to go to a particular place, I need to drive a car. And for me to get a car, I need a license, I need a registration, I need an insurance, I need to, I need petrol, I need to service it. And if I need to go to another place, it'll take time. There might be traffic. So this takes time, but I'm in need of it now. So it's not. So our lives are different from their lives. So if in earlier times they would pray 100, 200 rakats, and that was normal for that day and age. But in this day and age, if you ask a person to do all of that when he has all these other responsibilities, you can't expect that. But if you find a person that despite being faced with all these preoccupations and and and, and difficulties, and you find him get up and pray 2 rakats in the night, then that is a big thing. It might be the qutb of this age, because that means he has overcome so much of his desires and tribulations. So this is why a person should understand his age and your situation. But this is not an excuse that you be happy with just 2 rakats. So, but at the same time, we don't belittle. So, our uh, what our needs are today are different than the needs of those people 100 years ago or 200 years ago. What were their needs? How was their life? It was a very simple life. We are in need of a lot of things, like internet now. This is a need. You need to you need to have an account. You need to have to pay your bills. So if somebody sets up his internet, does it mean he's living luxury? No. People are in need of the internet. All of our things are done online. Your food, your it's made things easy for us, but it was supposed to give us more time to do other stuff, but in fact it has taken away more of our time. So it has distracted us more. So our needs are different than the needs of the people before. What is important is one should know what your real needs are and take from the dunya what you are need for. Like for instance, a person, a single sandwich is not enough for him. His his physical needs are different than other people. And another person only needs 1 sandwich or maybe less. So if somebody who says 1 sandwich is not enough for me, I need 2 sandwiches, does that mean there's somebody who's gluttonous, who wants more food? No, this is his need. So your body, maybe it's built for that. Similarly, all the other affairs of life, even in Islam, there's a difference between what is to be paid to the to the daughter and to the son. So when it is said in the Quran that Allah gave the man or the male twice the amount of the woman, not because it's more for the man, but it's more for the man to provide to the woman. Take this wealth and you'll be providing for it. It's not for you. It's for you to pay the bills, to provide the food. The money for the wealth is only for the woman, is only for her. The Islam has even organized this distribution of wealth. So the female is not the same as the male. Both are in need. This kind of this equality is amazing in Islam. So my needs might be even different than my twin brother or my twin sister. Maybe I need more or she might need more. So every person has their own needs. And then he gave us an example that people in this dunya so they gave the example of a ship that it docked at an island, and the captain said to the people, go to the island, get what you want, and just relax for a bit, and we have this much time and you have to leave. You just have an hour to return. Whoever is late, we're not responsible for them. So you going out to the island is something you need to do because you have to look for food, you have to fulfill your needs. So he said the best of the people who leave the ship are the ones who hasten to do their needs. They have to maybe use the toilet or something, and then they come back quickly. So, so, so we okay. Let's not draw the example of the toilet. Let's give the example of let's say the kitchen, right? Every house has rooms, has toilets, and has also kitchen. Do you sleep in the kitchen? No, because it's not made for sleeping. Do you do meetings in the kitchen? No. Do you receive your guests in the kitchens? No. The kitchen is clean and nice. No. Kitchen is for preparing food. So put everything in its place. So those who dealt with the dunya to to pay or to fulfill their needs, they were successful. And then there are others who got distracted by the flowers and the stones of the island, and they didn't take anything from there. They just enjoyed the scenery. They took pictures. The captain said, "You have only an hour, and I'm not responsible for you." So they got late. So you would be responsible for your delay. So what it here means is you delay in matters of the hereafter, meaning don't delay your prayer for the dunya. If you pray your prayer on time, the dunya will not miss you. The things of the hereafter are done on time and they're not delayed, and the things of this dunya are delayed uh, instead of hastened. The Prophet ﷺ said, he said, live in this dunya as if you're going to live forever. Or work for this dunya as if you're going to live forever, and work for the hereafter as if you're going to die tomorrow. Work for this world. This obviously means to things that you can delay, but things that you have to do, you do on time. And when you work for the hereafter, work as if you're going to die tomorrow. Meaning if it's become easy for you to pay charity, pay right now. If it's become easy for you to visit the sick, then visit now. Don't delay it to tomorrow. So if the opportunity has come up for you to do a good deed, then don't delay. Because it is said that from Allah's enabling grace for you is that to make doing righteous deeds easy. Because there are people, they could do good deeds, but it wasn't made easy for them. They got preoccupied. So if it's become easy for you to do that and to attend a gathering, then don't delay that. And these are opportunities. Then he said the third opportunity, the third type, is the one that who went out, who took pictures, who started taking things from the island. So they started having something loads to carry, and it was heavy and it needed a place to put, and they couldn't, and he couldn't uh, throw it, and he couldn't uh, he didn't find a place to put it, so he was just carrying it on his neck. So if uh, he finds uh, precious stones, and he's like thinking, okay, let me take these stones and then I'll sell them later. And he might find like some rare animal. He's like, let me take this animal, let me just raise it, and so he takes these things with him. He's got things more than he can carry. First, they're heavy for him. They take space, and they occupied his thoughts. They're afraid of them being stolen because he's now thinking of profit and trade. So that is preoccupation. So the fourth type, which is the worst, they forgot about the boat completely, and they were just amazed, impressed by the island, and they stayed there. And the ship left. They gave the last call and they left. So all that he carried, even if he found, let's say, a treasure, like let's say he found the treasures of Pharaoh, and he got all of that gold, but he didn't find the ship. What does how does he benefit from that? Can he sell? No, he can't. Can he grow that? Can he eat that? No. You got like snakes and and jinns and shayateens. They'll eat you and they'll eat whatever's with you. And this is how dunya is. And look how Allah Azza wa Jal, when He mentions the dunya, He mentions it with examples. He says the likeness or similitudes. He says the likeness of this dunya is like such and such, and He likens it to vegetation or plantation or plants and greenery. And this is amazing, and because humans in general have an affinity towards greenery, towards nature, and from the people's nature is that they wish to have a garden in their house. Everyone wants to have a garden in their house, but they can't because of their sick condition. So so they they instead of having the entire house as a garden, they'll have like a small plant here and there, just to have that nice look and feel in the house. And this is how dunya is. Take a little bit, but if you fill your entire house with plants, so that it looks like a garden, it'll fill up your house, and you won't even have space for your guests. You have trees everywhere, then what else are you gonna do? So this is why don't let your don't get deceived and deluded by the dunya, because the problem with the dunya is like a bait. The more you take from it, it adorns itself more, and it expects more, and it asks for more, and it won't stop. Like now, for instance, in in these options of these apps where you can buy things online, has made things so much easy for you. You don't have to travel anywhere. You can just order from your phone. You sit on your chair, you're having tea, and you're just scrolling through, and you're purchasing whatever you want, and it'll come to your house. So people are now living like this. They're just purchasing and purchasing, to the point they're purchasing things they don't even need. And if you purchase something you don't need, it has deprived you of something you are in need of. What is the thing you are in need of? We are in need of giving charity. I have debts, I can't give charity. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has struck the example, a similitude for the dunya, like this plantation, or this green, this vegetation, that how it starts as a sapling, and it's like a flower, and what has the least lifespan is a flower. It's the most beautiful thing in terms of its colors and its smell and its appearance, but the problem is its lifespan is very short, and it requires a certain type of special um, uh, uh, special type of climate. So this is how you should be dealing with dunya, that you take only that which you're in need of, and the rest, Allah Islam has given for us solutions. What are the solutions? Don't keep glancing here and there. It will tire you. You will get don't glance here and there. Lower your gaze from looking at the beauty of the dunya. Even the disbelievers, don't be impressed by the uh, by the dealings with the disbelievers. So the solution is, or that a solution that will make me lower my gaze from the tribulations of the dunya. What is the solution? How can I guard my eyes from looking at the dunya? There's just one solution, in Habib's opinion. The one who looks and goes and here and there. The most common reason is because free time. If somebody doesn't have free time, why would you go here and there to look at the dunya? I have work, I have family, I have this, I have that. So when our time is scheduled, is everything is organized, then it will be difficult for us to be deluded by the dunya. The problem is that we don't organize our time. People think that people's time is only work, and once they're done with work, they have free time. You've done your responsibilities, and then you have free time to relax. Why? Why do you have to relax? Habib mentions some time ago, when he was young, they would ask, and we were students in the school, and students like Habib, they wanted a holiday. They would think that the school has tired them, and then since I'm in school, I'm busy and I'm tired. And it's true that some families, they force their kids to study long hours to get good grades and stuff. So it made the schools uh, think that they made the students think that the schools is everything, but it should be balanced. So the holidays, and we used to study with him, this teacher. So the teacher said to one of the students, "When will I memorize Surah Baqarah?" And then the student said, "When holidays come, I will memorize Surah Baqarah." And then the teacher said, "There's no such thing as holiday for the believer." It's the devil who wants you to think that you've done hard work. Now it's time to treat yourself. No, treat yourself, but have that organized as well. Treat yourself for 2 hours or 1 hour, but then after that, what do? Believers should not have free time. You've done something, then go to the next thing. You've done something, then go to the next thing. Go to the next form of worship. You've you've done fasting, go to Quran. You've done Quran, then do to zikr. If you've done dhikr, go to tafakkur. If you've done that, go to the next. That does not mean you're sitting on the prayer mat 24/7. Means you connect your life with good intentions. You go to work, you have good intentions. You go to work with the intention to learn, and then you'll learn. To teach, and you'll teach, and to help the poor, and you'll be rewarded for it. So you make the most of that time that you think that is for the dunya, but it's not. So for this reason, we say that the reason why people are preoccupied is dunya because of their delusion that they have free time. But it's a delusion. There's no such thing as free time. We need to convince ourselves 100% that we're not talking about breaths right now. There shouldn't be a day that passes by except that you have good deeds in it. That you should be like satisfied with that. Not like I recited one, not just what I recited one page of the Quran. True, it's good, it's a righteous action, it's a book of Allah. But you have 24 hours, and how many minutes in there? Are you convinced that in that 24 hours it was just one page was enough, and you're gonna go to the hereafter, and this is the cultivation ground for the hereafter, and you are in need of good deeds, and you have time, and you have free time. So a person will say, how can I convince myself that I did something good today? So one of the things is to increase every single day in knowledge, because not the reward of knowledge is not 10 rewards, it's actually in elevation degrees. There is righteous deeds. It's like your base salary or something like that. It's like for everyone. Any good deed you do, you get 10 rewards for it. But then there are actions that are more than that. Like seeking sacred knowledge, it's elevation, a rank in paradise. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increases the believers who have been given knowledge higher ranks. He increases them in higher ranks. And between each rank is a distance of 500 years. So if you say, I'm going to do one page of Quran, say, mashallah, that's good, but don't think that's enough. Add to it something that you feel you did something. You attended a gathering of knowledge. If you attend a gathering of knowledge in one day, and in this dars, this lesson is for only 10 minutes, but you benefited in terms of your character. You learned a new sunnah that you didn't know about. You learned one sunnah. This knowledge in itself is a reward. Acting upon that knowledge is another reward. Teaching it to others is a third reward. See how much reward you'll get. So you'll learn, you'll act, and you'll teach. You'll be student of knowledge that has a separate reward. You acted upon what you learned, and you taught others. So then you become a caller to Allah Azza wa Jal. This is how you profit. Convince me of some other action that a whole day passes by. You visited a sick. This is a beautiful action, because in that is movement. How is that profitable? So you reap the benefit not just by visiting, but just by having that intention first. That intention gives you a reward. You leaving the house gives you a reward, meaning Allah will send an angel on the way to tell you that what you're doing is good, and your path is good. We don't see that, but the Prophet has told us of this, so we believe in it. And the Prophet gave the example. He mentioned this when the Prophet saw one Sahabi leave his house, and he asked him, where are you going? And he said, I'm going to visit a brother for the sake of Allah. And the Prophet said that I'm telling you that Allah sent an angel to tell you that what you're doing is good. So imagine Allah's appointed an angel for you, and the angel visits you, and it's a glad tiding from Allah. What is better than that? There's a glad tiding from Allah. The third thing is, it's you've been you're receiving a message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's saying to you that what you're doing is good, and even this walk that you're doing is good. You didn't stand in the night, you didn't do a jihad, you didn't go to Hajj, you just went in your car. Or the fifth reward is what the angel says, is that you have now been given a place for yourself in paradise. Meaning you have a house that has been booked for you. There's a place booked for you. It might be a palace. What is inside that? What are the details? This is a gift for you from Allah, not from your prayer or your fasting. It's only because you went to visit your fellow brother Muslim when he was sick. And this is also a glad tiding that you will enter paradise, because what's the point of being gifted a house that you won't enter? Does it stop there? No, it doesn't stop there. You continue to walk. You reach the sick person, you say salams, you get reward. You smile at them, you get reward. You make them happy, you get another reward. And then on top of that, you hear what about the Hadith Qudsi, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that if you visited him, you would have found me there. You found Allah with the sick person. You leave with all of your sins forgiven. Why? You visited a person who's broken-hearted. You made them happy. And that is one of the most beloved actions to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet ﷺ was asked, what is the best of actions? He said to enter happiness into the heart of a believer. What about if that sick person was from the righteous, not just a normal person? This is all for doing all that we just said was for doing it for a sick person who's a normal Muslim. What if that sick person was a righteous person? There'll be more reward. What if it was a scholar from the scholars? You're visiting a sick person and a scholar at the same time. And what if it was a relative of yours? And then you get, if you visit your relative, then you get more rizq and you get more health and life. Is there anything better than that? You want what else do you need? Your rizq increases and your life increases and your high life becomes happy because you visited that person. So actions like these, if you were to visit one sick person in your day, that means you've done something great in this day. There's barakah. You visited a scholar, you visited a relative, you visited a brother for the sake of Allah. He's not even sick, he's just your brother. He's not a scholar. Your neighbor. So dunya is the land for cultivation for the hereafter. So don't be like that person who would take pictures and he puts it in the background of his phone. There's a lot of pictures. Is this your portion of the dunya, that you just take pictures? It takes your memory on the phone. They take time and they take space on your phone. The reality is you don't benefit. We're not saying don't take pictures. We're just giving you the example, for the example of the story of the people who left the ship. So what Shaitan's telling you, just go out and look around. true if you look around with tafakkur, with reflection and pondering on the signs of Allah. But the condition is you have to be true, because that is an excuse the shaitan does. He comes and tells you, oh, you're going out and you'll be reflecting on 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 the creation of Allah Azza wa Jal. The condition is that that He's true, and the thing is that when you do tafakkur, when you do reflection, you'll be doing a lot of dhikr with it. So on the contrary, somebody who's doing dhikr more and tafakkur more, he'll only increase in his faith, and he'll be praising and thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more. So we'll continue the on the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ in the next lesson, where he mentioned that the dunya is cursed. And what does it mean by it's cursed? We ask Allah Azza wa Jal that He puts dunya in our hands and not in our hearts. Oh Allah, do not make us be tested in our deen and in our children and in our daughters and our children and our family and in our wealth and anything that you've given us. Make us people who are gifted and not tested, and show us the dunya the way you showed it to the Prophet ﷺ and all of your righteous servants, and grant us the good of it and take away from us the harm and the bad of it. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He says, wa alaikum assalam, to Brother Ali, to Brother Nawfal, Muhammad Shabir,
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. الأخ يا محمد، وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. حياك الله يا أخ. يدعو الله أنه يسر كيف يمكن حضور المجالس، كيف نتواصل مع أنت، أين توجد أنت، أين مكانك، هل أنت معنا هنا أم خارج أو كيف؟ ممكن تتواصل مع الفكرة عن طريق إيميلي الخاص oways@gmail.com oways@gmail.com. هذا إيميل خاص، ممكن نتواصل إن شاء الله مع بعض. يقول إنه أحيانا عندنا من عادة الناس أن يصافح الرجل المرأة الأجنبية. هذه عادة طبعا ليست طيبة، إذا أجنبية، وأنا لا أصافح والحمد لله، وأعلم أنه حرام. لكن في بعض الأحيان أتعرض لموقف محرج، يعني مواقف محرجة، فإذا وضعت مثل شال أو قطع قماش، هل هذا جائز؟ يعني أول شيء طبعا الدين فيه الحكم يدور كما يقول مع العلة. أنت أول شيء بارك الله فيك أنك متمسك بهذه أنك
so there people nowadays generally they shake hands. with the opposite gender, even if they're not related, and I avoid doing that. But then there are difficult situations where somebody feels like they're forced to do it. Is it something really difficult situation, like it's a very official situation and it might hurt you if you don't say it's a permissible, not permissible, because we're not going to give fatwa here. But what you've done, like putting cloth, you put cloth. I mean, obviously, is less bad than shaking hands without any cloth in between.
سؤال جميل، يقول هل تنصحون من عنده شرح الطعام ونفس المرأة لم يجوعها كما يكون الإمام الغزالي أم تدرسوا كيف يكون؟ الإمام الغزالي هو يتكلم عن علاج لكنه قد يناسب الظروف السابقة أو علاج بشكل عام، يعطيك علاج بشكل عام، لكن كل واحد له حالته الخاصة، زي مريض كل مريض يختلف عن المريض اللي قبله.
And Imam Ghazali talks about rearing the soul or the ego. He talks about at a certain age and general rules, but everyone has has a medicine that is unique for them. So the best way is to do in step by step. And this is exactly what the scholars say. Let's say if you used to eat you used to eat like 2 loaves of bread, you start by reducing by eating 1 loaf to 1 loaf and 3/4, and you keep doing that until your body gets used to it, and then you continue to lessen until you have control. But in this day and age, people can do their diets not for the sake of making themselves not for the sake of looking good and nice and handsome, but no, you do it for struggling against your ego, and you get reward for it, not with the intention that you be handsome and look nice and so in summary, you got to do it step by step.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. يقول إنه في أحد دروسنا قلنا أن في شيطان اسمه مشغول. متأكد يا وليد؟ ومن ذلك اليوم الانشغال فيما ينفع على قدر الاستطاعة. لعله ربما أنا أخطأت في اللفظ أو ربما سمعت غلط أنت أو ما أظن في مشغول، والله أعلم. وإذا قلت فعلا فأنا لكن ما ممكن يكون، لكن ممكن لعلي أقصد أنه مشغول فينا، شغله فينا، نعم، ما عنده شغل المشغول. ما عنده بزنس، عنده حتى مش مفكر في زوجته يعني. عنده الشيطان عنده زوجات خبث وقبائل، ما يفكر فينا نحن. طيب زوجتك موجودة، عيالك الله يبعدوا عنا إن شاء الله تعالى، ويشغل زوجته كمان معنا، الله المستعان. أخ وليد، ما دمت أنت تجاهد نفسك فأنت ماشي صح. مطلوب منا أن نجاهد أنفسنا ونجاهد الشيطان، والنتيجة عند الله عز وجل. حتى لو إنسان لم ينتصر لكن هذا ويحاول أنت ماشي صح. انتبه من الاستسلام. لا. خادمة الزهراء عليه السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته، وجزاكم الخير جميعا. أبو بكر حياك الله. أبو بكر وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. الأخت ليلى أمريكا، جزاكم الله خير. الأخت ليلى، وبارك الله فيكم. May Allah accept from you and all of us إن شاء الله آمين. خادمة الزهراء من تونس، أهلا وسهلا بأهل تونس. تونس الخضراء، أنعم وأكرم. تونس بلد الزيتونة، جامعة الزيتونة، والعلماء والسلوك المالكية الكرام موجودين الآن ضيوف في دار مصطفى ما شاء الله في المنطقة. سمعنا الشيخ الفاضل في الشيخ وليد في محاضرات اليوم ما شاء الله كان جميل جدا ما شاء الله. هذا يقول كيف التخلص من مرحلة الفتور، خاصة أن طارت كثيرا ونتلمس منكم الدعاء. السؤال جميل. الفتور بمعنى يعني ممكن نسميه بعبارة أخرى الملل.
So the questioner asked, how do we protect ourselves from boredom? In this day and age, there is boredom because people are not finding pleasure in worship. And there's a reason. The reason is that the dunya in front of us has opened up all of its doors. The dunya is open for me more than it was open for our parents. A lot more than what it was open for our grandparents. If you ask our grandparents how dunya was, they would say not much. From our house to the workplace, but the dunya has opened up too much for us. There are too many tribulations and trials. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of obligations as well. If he enters any social media, the reels, the shorts, you can see anything and everything. Comedy, you can watch anything and everything, and it's non-stop. So this is why if a person who is so immersed in the dunya, and then when he comes to adhan or prayer, he won't find that pleasure. The first cure is you need to organize your time, and especially in how you deal with your phones and your devices, and you only use it when you need it. If you just open it like that, you will never get free yourself from it. Organizing your time, attending the gathering, the knowledge, visiting the sick. It'll take. You feel that happiness when that person makes dua for you. You feel a transformation. But if you keep seeing videos after videos after videos, likes and laugh and joke comedy, what will you benefit? Nothing, no reward, nothing. In fact, you might be getting sins. So organizing your time and organizing a time so that your social life, visiting the sick, the poor, visiting the graves as well. Sayyidina Sheikh Abu Bakr bin Salim used to visit the graveyard every single night. He had more work than all of us together. But he felt
إذا مات
that the deceased are in need of the ones who, as well, the living, to make dua for them.
ربما تقليل الدنيا سيقلل
So reducing
أن تذكر الله.
reducing this amount of dunya that we're exposed to increases or reduces that boredom that you might be experiencing in your form of worship. Go and travel to places of travel and visit the scholars and awliya.
كيف أنا أريد أكون مثلك، هذا يبكي في سجود، هذا يصلي بخشوع، ليش أنا ما أجد هو زيي؟
You go to such places and you find people living a completely different world, enjoying their worship, praying with focus, and the most important thing is to stay away from sin.
يلا أحمد صالحين جزاك الله خير. إن شاء الله أخت خادمة تقول يعني تدعونا أن نأتي ونزور تونس إن شاء الله، بلاد المغرب العربي يعني نسمع عنها كثيرا ما شاء الله، تونس والمغرب والجزائر وليبيا. كان لي زملاء في الأزهر ما شاء الله من تونس، يعني كان لي زميل اسمه الشيخ محمد ما شاء الله، يعني ملاك ما شاء الله، أدب أخلاق وتواضع ومنور طالب علم، يعني كانت صحبة طيبة جدا ما شاء الله. كذلك كان لي صديق أيضا من ليبيا ما شاء الله، كان زميلي في الأزهر، وأيضا كان مجتهدا وكان طيبا وكان خلوقا، وأظن أنه الآن يعتبر يعني من علماء ليبيا للأسف، لكن فقدت يعني وسائل التواصل. إن شاء الله لعل الله يجمعنا، وإن شاء الله تونس نزورها ونزور أحبتنا في الله تبارك وتعالى. الحبشة وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته، جزاكم الله خير، وكل عام وأنتم بخير جميعا يا رب العالمين، وفقنا الله وإياكم.